My name is Sarah Okonkwo. I'm a compliance analyst at Northgate Building Society in Leeds. I've worn the Focus Link band for 2 years now, same as everyone else in financial services. And last month I found out it recorded every thought I had about leaving to care for my dying father. Not the decision to leave. I never made that decision. Just the thought, the possibility, the moment when my focus drifted from a transaction report to the window, wondering what it would mean to put him first. That was enough. You stop noticing the band after a while. The soft hum against your temples when you sit down at your desk. The way it pulses green when you're focused. Amber when you need a break. I used to joke that it knew I needed coffee before I did. It probably did. The rejection came through on a Tuesday. Senior Compliance Officer, Halifax. I'd applied 3 weeks earlier. 14 years of experience. Not even an interview. I checked the portal that evening. There's a section most people don't look at. Candidate feedback. Usually it's empty, or it says something vague about stronger candidates. Mine had a single line. CVI flag. Manual review declined. I had to look up what CVI meant. Commitment Volatility Index. I'd heard the term before, in the same way you hear about credit scores. Something that exists, something that matters, something you assume is fine because no one's told you otherwise. The registry portal took 3 days to grant access. When it finally loaded, I saw the spike immediately. A single week in September. The week my father's consultant told us there was nothing more they could do. I remembered that week. I remembered sitting at my desk, staring at numbers that meant nothing, thinking about what it would mean to walk away. Not deciding to walk away, just thinking. The way you think about anything when your world is falling apart. I never told anyone. I never requested leave. I never even opened the resignation template. But the band was there, pressed against my temples, logging every hesitation. The next morning I requested my full neural data file under the Access to Cognitive Records Act. Northgate's HR portal said it would take 5 working days. It took 11. The file was 412 pages. Timestamps, attention metrics, stress indicators, focus duration. I scrolled past graphs I didn't understand, past heat maps of my concentration, past weekly reports on my cognitive load that someone, somewhere, had been reading for 2 years. And then I found it. Page 207. A section I'd never seen in any training. Commitment markers. I found the clause that made it legal on page 94 of my original employment contract. Section 12.4. Bar cognitive data relevant to employment stability may be shared with the Financial Services Neural Registry for the purposes of sector-wide risk assessment. I'd signed it on my first day, between the health and safety quiz and the IT security briefing. 6 minutes for 47 pages. That's the average, according to Northgate's own onboarding metrics. I called my union rep. She was sympathetic but not surprised. Everyone signed it, she said. The form was designed to be signed during onboarding, cognitive loads highest, agreements automatic. It's not illegal if you consented. I didn't know what I was consenting to. That's sort of the point, Sarah. I started applying to other places. Banks, building societies, insurance firms. Every rejection came back the same way. CVI flag, manual review declined. Some didn't even bother with the manual review part. My manager called me into her office on a Friday. She said she'd noticed I seemed distracted lately. She said she wanted me to know that Northgate valued me, that there was no pressure, that if I was thinking about moving on, I should feel free to discuss it openly. I looked at her face. She already knew. She'd probably known since September. She was just waiting for me to confirm what the band had already told her. I'm not thinking about leaving, I said. Of course, she smiled. I just wanted you to know the door is always open. The door was already closed. It had been closed since the moment I thought about walking through it. My father died on the 19th of October. I went back to work on the 20th. I thought if I just kept going, if I just proved that the spike was temporary, that I was committed, that I was reliable, the score would correct itself. That's how credit scores work, isn't it? You make better choices, and eventually the old ones fade. It doesn't work like that. The registry doesn't track recovery. It tracks risk. And a single week of wavering, one moment of human doubt, is enough to mark you forever. The system isn't punishing me for leaving, it's punishing me for considering it. For being the kind of person who might, under certain circumstances, put something else first. I still wear the band every day. I have to, it's in my contract. I sit at my desk and I focus on transaction reports and I make sure my attention never drifts to the window. I eat lunch at my desk so the band can log my dedication. I don't think about my father during work hours anymore. I've learned how to think around it, how to hold a feeling in a part of my mind the sensors can't reach. Or at least, I hope they can't reach. You never really know what they're measuring. That's the thing. You just have to trust that the green light means you're safe. I scattered his ashes 3 weekends ago. I made sure to do it on a Saturday. The band doesn't log weekends unless you opt in. I didn't opt in. I went back to page 207 last night. I'd been avoiding it for weeks. I made myself read every line, 43 separate instances of departure ideation. That's what the system logged during that single week in September. 43 moments when my mind wandered from the spreadsheet. 43 times my heart rate changed at the sound of my phone, hoping it wasn't the hospice. 43 thoughts about my dying father. Each one time-stamped, each one flagged, each one shared with every employer in my industry before I even knew it was being recorded. The system didn't flag me for disloyalty. It flagged me for love, for the kind of love that makes you wonder, even for a second, if work is the most important thing in your life. That's what commitment volatility means. Not whether you'll leave, whether you're capable of caring about something else. I still think about him every day. I've just learned to do it quietly.